It's not uncommon for people to be bitten by the harness racing bug late in life. A recent recruit to the Sydney ranks is Ross Hutchison, who may well be the first show business personality to set his sights on a training and driving involvement. This 62-year-old dynamo hasn't looked back since his doctor recommended gymnastics and dancing as a likely deterrent for his childhood asthma. A breezy personality, boundless energy and loads of talent have taken Ross to the upper echelon as a dancer and choreographer. His TV credits include the ABC's Make Ours Music and legendary Channel 9 programs like Sound of Music, Bandstand and the Super Flying Fun Show. It all started at age 4 when he wandered away from his parents at a concert.
When they did find me, there I was, yes, on the centre stage in the middle of... It was a concert going on, there was a show. And there was your mate up there, centre stage, singing Goodbye Little Yellow Bird. Of course, it brought the house down and everybody's screaming and cheering. And from that moment, I said, this is where I belong. Centre stage. So it started, yes, it would have been 4, yeah. Christ.
You worked through that wonderful era when variety shows were king on Australian television. Your personal favourite?
Oh, I guess it was a responsibility of Bandstand, because it was the #1 show right throughout Australia. Both the Brian Hendo's his bandstand and Daryl Summers' bandstand, they were vital in the communication and the launching of new talents, new Australian talents, not only all of the big stars that came from overseas just to be on Bandstand, and to have, you know, I choreographed a lot of their film clips and things like that through Nine and through the Grundy organisation. And I loved it for that reason. The wackiest would have been the Super Flying Fun Show with our mate Jimmy Badger, where I played, I think, about 14 or 15 different characters and was the personal choreographer of all of the characters. Sound of Music was magnificent. When I came over there, they released me from Bandstand to go to Sound of Music with Bill McGrath and Carlo Carter, who I thoroughly learned so much and enjoyed. Great big production numbers, because then it was like, they were mini musicals that we'd literally do, would air every Friday night. And they were like the big shows I used to do for Tivoli and for all of the major big houses and the J.C. Williamsons. They were the big musical days, and then came television, and then came and Sound of Music. So I'm not going to pick one of them, because I mean there was Barry Crocker's and Billy Newman's, all of those Sound of Musics that, and of course all the stars that we got to work with. I mean some enormous stars with Bandstand.
The most famous person with whom you got to work in that golden era?
Everybody from Sammy Davis Jr., Liza Minnelli, Benny Hill. I mean, it was amazing that this little Aussie was in those situations, but I guess you had to be at that level to get those opportunities. But they're just things that you take in your stride and you do. But I had wonderful, not only got the opportunity to be Liza Minnelli's dancer, but to actually dance with Sammy, who's very much still part of my life, because I shared a lot of private time with different functions after shows. He'd do his show and I'd come off stage. Bernard King was a great hero, and we used to be a great double act. And like he's godfather to both my daughters, and we were a strong team with our Roxy Review and all the cabaret and theatre restaurants we did. And then Sammy'd finish his show, we'd finish our shows, and we'd meet up. So Sammy'd hire a movie house, and he'd want to see the latest, and have it flown in from America, and we'd be sitting up there at midnight watching the latest released movies, and to have dinner with him and have time. And he gave me time, he gave me precious time of his enormous wealth of knowledge and his great spirit. He was just the most wonderful man.
Mr. Versatility regularly wears another hat as a minister of the Australian Spiritual Church of God.
Let's give thanks for being brought together here in friendship and love and harmony and happiness and joy, in healing and laughter.
Now, the congregation to whom you speak frequently here in Penrith is non-denominational.
Correct.
In fact, you described it to me as an easy-going church.
That is, yeah, that's what spiritualism is about. It's non-confrontatory, non-judgmental. It is the acceptance of the fact that we're all from the one source of creation. And yes, there's all kinds of it. It's easy going, yeah, just nice. And actually, it's probably described our church and spiritual churches and people of that nature. The church runs on hugs.
Well, your love of horses led you to providing a home, and a long-term home, to a former Melbourne Cup winner called Just a Dash. He won the 1981 Cup, trained by TJ Smith and ridden by Peter Cook.
I had him here in Penrith a long time. He used to do all the Melbourne Cup days, and people would pay money for charity to have their photos taken with him. To hear the crowds screaming for him like a teenage idol, you know, a teen idol rock and roll star. And it was just, and he loved it. He loved his public. As soon as I was getting near a racetrack, you would know. You'd feel the floats. You'd start to sway. Just hang on. And I dropped the float, and I had this beautiful big show rug made for him, pink satin and black, and with Just a Dash written all over it, 1981 Melbourne Cup. He'd just back himself out of the float there, and he would parade. Yeah. He would do the most wonderful parade in the world, and he would go and let the people adore him. Hi-ho, it's after work I go.
A couple of years ago, at around age 60, you decided to catch up on something that had been in the back of your mind for a long, long time.
Yeah.
So you took out a harness trainer's permit.
Yep.
You enrolled in the TAFE Horseman's course.
Yep.
And here we are.
Here I am, mate.
7 trial drives down,
yes.
13 to go.
13 to go. And look out there, I'm going to be out there on the track with you big guys doing the big stuff and taking your money. Oh, I love it. John, it was at Woodbury a couple of years ago, and with my brother's wonderful establishment. My brother's done a great job with our breeding program, and his daughters, and Katie, his eldest girl, is the only licensed driver now in the family. And they said, oh, come on, you can work a couple of horses for us. So I jumped in the gig down there, went around the home track, and mate, I said, how long has this been going on? I said, I've been denying this all my life. I said, this, and that was it. From that moment, I hopping into the working gig, going around that paddock, and I come straight back.
You were besotted and bought Hilda May. You purchased this lovely little mare with the express purpose in mind of notching up those 20 trials.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And after I've got my 13 more to go, I'll have my B grade licence, and then I'm after my A grade, so look out. It's because I just love it.
All of your life you've been setting yourself goals and achieving the great majority of them.
Yeah.
This is the newest mountain you've decided to climb, to become a professional trainer driver.
Isn't that...
Are you deadly serious about this?
Oh, mate, I am so focused, deadly serious. It is an absolute... It's more than a passion. It is an absolute, I'm here to tell you, determination, because I love it. I mean, every second I'm out on the track, from the time that you're up, you get to the stables. I'm there, thank goodness, Hilda May's at Ronnie Cooper's place here, and Robin Cooper's place, and she's stabled there. I know she's in good conditions and good safe places, but I get there and we muck out all of the stalls from that moment, from the day, and then we put them on the joggers, and then and everything about it, and the greatness of the spirit of our wonderful horses, our standard breds, no, there isn't a moment I don't love.
Deep down, I suspect that at heart, you really are a song and dance man.
I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling, I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds so dark up above. The sun's in my heart.